You're listening to Sheep, where we put the funny back into the news. I'm Andrew Bolton, and with me, as always, my fellow sheepolite, Mel Fessenden. All right, and we are back with another episode.
Hello, everyone. It is I, Mel Bolton.
And it is me, Andrew Bolton. And together we are Stunning. Absolutely stunning there, Mel.
I think so.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. Boy, it has been a full week.
It has been. It's been a lot of rain for us, though.
Yeah, Johnny Depp trial's over.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, they've announced that they're going to, well, Amber Heard's lawyer has brought it back that they are going to be filing for an appeal.
Of course they are.
Well, because she's broke.
I don't know what the appeal's going to do except make this more expensive for her.
Well, I mean, it is the lawyer, selling it. Like, that's why the CEO of Moderna says we need 18 boosters. It's like, why are we buying something from the person who's making a profit?
Yeah, I think Amber's should just call it quits.
No shot. She can't. She's all or nothing. She's got to prove this until the day she dies.
Yeah. Yeah, in certain respects, she can never admit she's wrong because of how wrong she is.
Right. Like, I understand where everybody's like, just come clean. It's like, yeah, you can come clean, but you're never coming back if you come clean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's dug a really deep hole.
You keep lying, Amber. I'm on your side with this one. Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah.
That's all.
Treat Johnny Depp's wallet like you did the fundraiser, the nonprofit organization for.
Just threaten to take some out?
No. Tell him you're going to pay and never do it.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Yeah. And then you can become the spokesperson for Johnny Depp.
Oh, what a twist of fate.
Yeah, that's something. Well, anyways, guys, enough beating around the bush.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get right into it. But this time, I guess there is kind of some beating in the bush here in this story.
Oh.
Oral sex sends Florida man crashing into FedEx truck.
Man, you hate to hear it happen.
I know.
But are you surprised?
Talk about not handling a package correctly.
Well, stick shifts aren't for everyone.
Well, that's true. That's true. So it was a head-on collision. Literally. Oh, hee-hoo, hee-hoo. I actually don't know who that would be more uncomfortable for.
Oh, I gotta think it would be the person that's not strapped in correctly. So,
I mean, it could be
in
both.
In some arguments, yeah,
could
both.
Be both. It could be both.
Get your zipper on, quick.
Yeah. So you're gonna say for the female?
Yeah, it's just she's doubled over, turned to the left. I just feel like with a head-on collision, you're mostly probably hitting like the center console radio section. There's not a lot of airbags prepared there.
No, that's for Teslas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teslas know what you're doing in them. It's not well, it could have been a Tesla. We don't know.
Plus, yeah, if the airbag from his side hit her in the side of the face, it could be that sweet spot that you told me about that fighters get. That's instant knockout.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I would be more afraid of that happening as the dude because they usually get lockjaw.
Oh. Ooh, gosh.
Yeah, I learned that from Shawshank.
That'd be terrifying.
Yeah, and just watching guys get knocked out, that also helps too. Yeah.
Yeah, like a carrot just biting right through.
That's right.
Whew.
Softer than a carrot. Like a uncooked hot dog.
Apparently biting you can bite through a finger as efficiently as if it were a carrot.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
I've tried, but fear stopped me.
Yeah. So you haven't tried.
I know. It's just, you hear that little tidbit of information. You're like, really?
Have you dipped it in ranch yet?
I hadn't tried that.
I think
maybe that'll trick me.
I think that'll trick you. Yeah, go for it. So, a distracted Florida man receiving oral sex smashed directly into a FedEx truck in Fort Lauderdale Thursday night, injuring his groin, local police said. Man, he was not expected to be smashing that.
Mm-mm.
He was expected to be smashing something else.
Yeah.
So the unidentified man and his female companion were both found partially naked after the collision just before 7 p.m., according to reports.
Man, he was spewing packages everywhere.
Yeah. Damn shame. 7 p.m. Thursday night, Roadhead. It was starting off to be a great day for you, brother.
Maybe even a long weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
That would have been... But now what can you do? So images, good luck ever getting another one of those, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's going to have a rumor about him because he couldn't drive.
Well, at least with her, right? Your best chance of getting one of those again is to just break up with her immediately and just start anew.
Yeah. I mean, maybe he'll take your advice on it. I think he's not really worried about that right now.
Well, right, his groin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The immediate danger.
So images from the post-crash chaos show the front ends of both vehicles badly damaged at a busy intersection with 4 people sitting or lying down nearby. One prostrate victim can be seen with their pants around their ankles. I wonder which one that was. Rescue officials said the driver sustained an unspecified injury to his groin due to the circumstances of the crash. The FedEx driver and a passenger also suffered minor injuries. It was unclear if any charges were filed against the driver or his passenger.
I'm sure there will be.
I think if somebody like hit me like that and I was like, "What the heck is going on?" and the guy got out of the car and he was like, "Sorry, dude, I was getting roadhead."
Inexcusable. I would not forgive them.
Well, of course you wouldn't, but I think I could.
Yeah, well, what if the accident was worse? What if it ended in someone's death? He got very lucky that nothing happened too bad to the other individuals or his partner.
And they got very lucky that it wasn't towards the end, because I know those. Your foot's all the way down on the gas pedal.
Could have been through the end then.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. Oh. It's a red light. I'm going for it.
Yeah. We got into a car. She goes, "I'm done." He goes, "No, you're not."
Let's wait for the first responders.
Yeah, we still have time. She goes, "Oh my God, I feel like that would be pretty uncomfortable for the lady. But it seems like she's fine."
Yeah.
More so
Good
the
for
guy.
her.
Yeah, the guy injured himself somehow. I'm thinking it might have been a bite down.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I don't feel bad for him.
No, I mean, it's impossible to. It's like somebody who won the lottery and then has spent it all and is now broke again. You can't feel bad for somebody who's winning the lottery.
Yeah, that kind of works.
Yeah, it definitely does. It
It's
doesn't kind of work. It definitely does.
I'm not going to give it to you.
Huh. Why? Because of this guy? What are the chances of it happening? Yeah. All right. Well, that was a nice little aperitif. Just to wet the whistle, if you will.
Yeah.
All
like
right.
a wine tasting where you spit it back out afterwards.
I mean, sure, if you're not a lady.
Hey.
Yeah, there she is. She caught it. All right, moving on.
Yeah.
So, it all gets a little, it all goes downhill from here, by the way.
Okay.
Just to let you know.
All right.
Forewarning.
Okay. I'm actually listening this time, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Asian man beaten over sexual assault allegations says he never forcibly touched anybody.
But he did touch someone.
Not forcibly.
It is a difference. All right. Let's hear this.
So the 42-year-old married have you seen the video of this, by the way? So there's a video that's going around social media right now. And it's a video of this Asian man and these couple of black guys. I want to say like 2 or 3. And one of them is holding the Asian guy's arms behind his back.
Okay.
While the other 2 take turns slapping and punching him.
No, I haven't seen this. This seems crazy.
So it sounds crazy, and it looked horrible because you could see people in the background like actually looking as this whole thing took place, and they don't know what the hell's going on. They just see these three guys beating the crap out of this one Asian guy.
Yeah.
Right? But anyways, in the video header, it says, caught this dude sexually assaulting 2 women, so we took him off the train and gave him a little street justice.
I don't like street justice.
I know you're not a big fan of street justice.
No,
I'm a big
I'm not.
fan of street justice, but...
Seems like a gang up.
Seems like a gang up.
Yeah.
I don't think you deserve to get beaten for grabbing ass. I think...
I can't picture this guy being able to keep down 2 ladies.
Right.
It feels like they should have been able to get away from him.
He's pretty scrawny looking gentleman.
Oh, is he?
He's
That's
a pretty
how I'm
scrawny.
kind of picturing him.
Yeah. So the 42-year-old married father from Queens was recorded being beaten by 3 black men on the AC platform in Fulton Street Station at around 3:30 p.m. on Friday. We know that station.
We do.
So the video, that's where we used to beat Asians.
It's the thing to do.
Yeah, you guys don't know about the 3:30 beatdown on Asians at Fulton Street Station on the AC going north?
Yeah.
You don't know about that?
Mm-hmm.
You guys aren't true New Yorkers. No, that's where we used to get off to go to work.
Oh, yeah.
So the video was received by Asian Crime Report from an Instagram follower, was first shared on Twitter. The 35-year-old videographer who shot the video allegedly claimed that one of the attackers said that the Asian man tried to sexually assault a woman in a subway car. They allegedly pulled him off the train and onto the platform and restrained him while they waited for the cops. However, the individuals involved left the scene before police arrived. So that makes me feel like you guys are guilty.
Yeah, and the story's changed too, because it went from 2 ladies to 1 lady.
No, sorry, I misspoke in saying 2 ladies.
Oh, okay.
I apologize.
All right.
So the woman it was always 1 woman, or it was always somebody was getting sexually assaulted. I added an extra lady.
Accidentally.
I always do.
Yeah, even if it was justifiable, unfortunately, yeah, they made the right call of running after that point, because they still would have been held for assault, no matter what, for taking the law into their own hands.
Well, what do you think's worse, assaulting a man or sexually assaulting a woman?
Yeah, but the problem with that is 1 man, 1 woman, 3 guys, 1 man. It's got, and he's being held down, and I don't like that.
Yeah, watching it actually kind of made me sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
To be completely honest, here's the video.
Oh, I'm watching it right now?
Yeah, we're going to show it to you right now.
Ooh.
Okay? So, this is it right here. We got to do this all sketchy style. So
Okay.
it's 2 men. 1 guy's clearly holding the Asian man back.
All right. Yeah, he looks like an average dad.
And they're just punching him right on the Fulton Street, and they're slapping him. And that's actually a shorter video. And so that goes on for like a good 2-3 minutes.
I'm not saying that this guy didn't assault a lady, because that chance definitely exists.
Well, yeah, what we're saying is there is no proof of the man assaulting the lady. There is proof of this man getting assaulted by 3 black men.
Right? There were 3 of you there. Not one of you could have taken a video out of him messing with the lady and reporting him to cops.
Yeah.
Maybe make a citizen's arrest. I don't know what would have come from it, but at least he would have been on the radar for cops. And it's tough because, especially in New York, cops aren't the most trusted right now.
No, they're not. Yeah, tough situation.
It is.
So in the viral video, 2 men can be seen slapping and punching the Asian man in the face and head separately, while another man restrains him from behind. While the video was presented as a racist attack by advocacy groups online, I mean, what isn't a racist attack nowadays?
It's probably all got a little undertone there.
Yeah.
By today's standards.
So many online repeatedly. That's if you're going to commit a crime now, do it against your own race. That's the best
That's
advice.
the safe thing you can do. And even then.
And it won't be televised. Nobody will give a rat's ass as long as you just do it to your same race. Unless you're a white guy shooting things.
Yeah.
That's still pretty touchy for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So many online repeated allegations against the Asian man to explain the three men's motives, painted it as an instance of vigilante justice. In an exclusive interview on, unless you're wearing a cape and a cowl, I'm not on your side.
Right? There's something about you actually donning the ridiculous outfit.
Yeah.
I am for justice.
Yeah. Cheesy lines, all that kind of thing, you know?
Right.
Like Boy Scouts type stuff.
Yeah, because then I would think you're crazy, but I would think you have some honor in all your craziness.
Yeah. So in an exclusive interview on Tuesday with the Daily Mail, the Asian father who chose to withhold his name claims that he did not assault anyone and that he is the victim. It looks like it based on that video. I fell asleep on the train and I woke up to a bunch of guys grabbing me and assaulting me, he said. I was targeted and held against my will, was put in a full Nelson and assaulted by two different guys. I didn't even know what the hell was going on. And there was a crowd watching, and nobody was helping. That was a tough part for me, too, watching that. Is seeing all the heads.
Oh, yeah.
Just look and watch as these two guys. Because, once again, they don't know what this guy did.
Mm-mm.
They have no proof that these three guys beating on this one guy are telling the truth.
Right, they could have just laid claim that they saw this.
Yeah, no, sorry, we're police officers. This is an investigation.
Yeah, maybe. That would be a stretch to claim. But
well, obviously. But what I'm saying is that's what they're saying, right? There's no proof to back up what they said.
Yeah.
We just have to take them at their word, which
is probably easier to do, especially in an area where everyone kind of minds their own business. Because there's so many people there, you just really have your immediate circle you worry about.
Yeah. I don't know. The whole thing is just... if there was video of the guy being a perv and then video of this,
right,
I could absorb it a lot better.
Yeah, I would definitely be not okay with what these guys did. I
just think that there's people, you know, I do believe in justice of a sort, like justice like this in a sort, but I also believe that when you perpetrate acts of violence against another human being in this manner,
for anyone to witness too,
while you are punishing him, you're also kind of changing yourself a little bit.
Right.
And that's what I'm against. If you've already done this before, by all means, go right ahead. I don't think you're changing yourself. But the first time you do that to somebody, to do something like this to somebody, yeah, I think it changes you as a human being. And I think just because they did something horrible doesn't, you shouldn't have to change your moral standards in order to punish somebody.
Well, there's that, and then I'm more worried about the social standard that they're setting for this area.
Well, there's a bunch of stuff like this going on nowadays, right? Like a couple comedians have gotten attacked because of words. Now this guy's getting attacked because of, sexual assault, which is a more reasonable reason to attack somebody. But we have no evidence of that.
We don't even have the girl.
Yes.
If she even did exist.
Right. Dust in the wind.
Yeah, it's just...
And then who's to say she said the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Now this Amber Heard thing coming out. There's
so many different factors.
Yeah.
That you just can't lay blind faith into.
Right. So the father claimed that he was drinking with a friend before he fell asleep on the train. This is where his story starts to seem a little shysty to me.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So he said that he suffers from a swollen jaw, 6 bumps, and bruises on his head from the beating he received at the train station. I've been arrested numerous amounts of times for assault, disorderly conduct, drinking in public, but never, ever, ever for forcibly touching a woman, the man was quoted saying.
Yeah, but you said assault, and there's literally something called sexual assault.
Yeah, you just throw a little sex.
Yeah, so
and then you were drinking and you fell asleep on the subway. Sounds like you blacked out.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance of this guy based off of his own owned up to past record.
Right. I would like to keep my name redacted. They go, no problem, sure. He goes, yeah, I've stabbed a woman before, but never have I groped a breast.
Right? Yeah, he's definitely not the best citizen I've ever heard of.
No, so he's not like exactly a saint either at the end of the day. So either these guys just randomly found an Asian that seems to have a pretty decent criminal record.
Right.
Or this guy actually did do what he said he did, or what they accused him of.
It does give more weight to what they were describing.
Right. Because now the guy says, I was drunk and
then I
fell asleep on the subway, which I've done before. I've fallen asleep on the subway.
I've nodded off. It happens. It's soothing. It gets all toasty and warm.
It's a nice little rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those COVID doors shut and it just...
Oh, nice and moist.
You sit in the middle. You got two fat people on either side. Pillows. It's very nice.
Very cushy.
Oh, it's great. I have never, ever forcibly touched any type of female or person or individual in my life. Way to be inclusive there, brother.
Yeah, he's
knows
got it.
Any type of female. I'm not an original, not or one of these new females that they're making in the labs.
He's not trying to pick too many fights right now.
No, he's not. He's in my life. I have a family, a daughter in public school, and a wife, and I have a mother and father. I understood when he said daughter and wife. I didn't understand when he said mother and father. I'm like, if you just said mother, once again, I understand where you're coming from because you're trying to say, no, I wouldn't sexually assault because I have a mom. I've got a wife. I've got a daughter. I cherish these people, and I know that other people are these people to somebody else. That's why I wouldn't do it. Yeah. But then he threw in father, and I think he was just listing relatives at a certain point.
I think he was trying to, he knows he needs to play to the audience.
Yeah.
And then he forgot which specific audience he was supposed to call on. And then he mentioned his father, too.
Yeah. I've got a goldfish. I wouldn't do something like this. Have you ever seen a goldfish owner grope somebody sexually?
I take my pet rock everywhere.
Yeah. I have a hamster, and I don't even use it for sexual reasons.
Thank you, sir.
You're like, I definitely think you're guilty now.
One more slap for the hamster.
Yeah. So I don't want people to see me like I'm an animal, like I'm a savage. I'm not, he added. I swear on everything I love that I did not do what people say I did. I didn't touch nobody. I didn't try to assault anybody.
Well, it sounds like by this guy's own admitted past record, something will pop up for him soon, and we'll know the truth.
Yeah, I don't. But we also don't know who the three black men are, right?
We don't. And yeah, that's the one thing that's probably will never be found out.
Right, like it wasn't Will Smith, Morgan Freeman, and
Chris Rock. He knows a good slap.
Yeah, and Chris Rock going down the street going, I've been slapped before. That guy definitely deserves it. Right? And then Morgan. So it's not like these are, I don't know. These are just three random black guys that we're supposed to trust who beat up an Asian guy and then ran away before cops came.
Yeah, you can just tell Morgan Freeman retelling the story. And that was when he knew he fucked up.
Yeah.
Slap him.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, we don't know what's really happened there, but an interesting take, I think.
Yeah, maybe something more will come out of it. It's just, it's definitely bringing awareness to, especially the fact that people just stood around and watched it happen.
Yeah, that's the thing about New York that drives me crazy is they do all these marches and preachiness about being, one city in this together. Oh, you're getting mugged? You're on your own.
Yeah. It's easier to be a part of a parade.
Well, that's what I mean. Is it's just like when push comes to action, when push comes to shove. Yeah. I think that's what it's called. The saying goes.
Yeah.
They don't step up. They just talk about what they and that's most people, I'll admit.
Mm-hmm.
But I always hate it when it's like one of those really like, oh, we're so inclusive and we're just one big community. It's when those types of communities have something like this happen to them and then nobody helps. I just go, oh, so you're full of it.
Yeah.
Oh, who'da thunk it?
You just didn't have anything happen for a while.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Versus those towns that don't say that they're like a big community. They're like, we like our privacy,
Mm-hmm.
And then it's usually those guys that are ones that the guy that wants to be left alone is the one that usually comes out of the woodwork to help somebody.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they have their own line in the sand that they try not to cross.
Right.
Or their own expectations. And I'm only talking about for the parades, because I know we've had a lot of protests and everything nowadays, but I just mean like the gay pride parade. I think it's so widely accepted, especially in the cities. I don't think there's really much fighting that anymore.
No, there is no at least not when we were living there. I didn't see anybody trying to bash the only thing I saw.
Every building has rainbow flags hanging on them.
Right. The only thing I saw was, aside from a lot of wiener,
and boobs.
And boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only time I ever saw any animosity towards something like that when it was the straight pride parade, when all those straight guys were just trying to troll the gay pride parade. There was some animosity there. I'll admit that one.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. People are stupid. And funny if you give them a chance. Anyways. All right. Moving on.
Yes.
Keep on walking. So, going to Middle America on this one.
Ooh. What?
This is the darkest story I have of the day.
Oh. I'm ready.
Okay. Indiana teen allegedly told cops shadowy man made him kill 6-year-old girl.
Oh. So it could be a lie, or he could be schizophrenic, or she.
Yeah. So an Indiana teenager who allegedly told cops a shadowy man. I don't like shadowy man. I like shadow man. I'm going to go with shadow man.
I think you should write him a letter.
Yeah. An Indiana teenager who allegedly told cops a shadow man made him kill a 6-year-old girl will undergo a psychological evaluation as his attorney will try to get him declared legally insane. Anthony Hutchins, 15 years old, will be examined by a psychiatrist and psychologist to see if he's fit to stand trial in the March 2021 murder of young Grace Ross. Grace. In the small town of New Carlisle. Carlisle. That makes sense. New Carlisle.
Okay.
Of South Bend, the South Bend Tribune reported.
So
the kid was 14 when this whole thing happened. Because he's now 15.
Yeah, I guess they just have to prove whether it was cognitive intent.
And he's just making up the shadow man thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's just with how much Netflix and other TV platforms broadcast just crazy cases. Like, I listen to all those true crime things. It's easy to know what it takes to try to get the insanity plea. But I don't know, he's a 14-year-old kid. It's probably not likely he's going to pull the wool over anyone's eyes.
No, you just think that you can when you're that age.
Yeah.
No, nobody would ever have thought of this before. You're like, oh, wait, we've been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Most people are just stupid enough to think that they can get away with it. And then there's those very, very, very select fews that are actually smart enough too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the local, where are we at? So the local doctors will then submit their findings to the court for review after a Tuesday order from St. Joseph County Superior Court Judge Jeffrey Sanford. Anthony was 14 on March 12th when he allegedly molested and fatally strangled Grace in a wooded area of Carlisle 15 miles outside of South Bend. Grace was reported missing by her family and her body found several hours later. Oh, God, that would be horrible.
I think he's lying about the Shadow Man.
You think so? What makes you say that?
The fact that it was taking place in a wooded area secluded from everything.
So the accused killer allegedly told police that the girl followed him into the woods.
I'm sure he found something to bring her along. Like, hey, I'll give you candy. Or, hey, you want to do this? Let's pretend. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. He Hanseled and Greteled her.
Yeah. Kids are susceptible to being lured.
Man. Good to know.
Yeah. Okay.
Into the woods near the apartment complex where they both lived before he strangled her under the control of a shadowy man. The Tribune previously reported, citing court records. Anthony ran off and was later arrested. So either, demon or he's lying.
I think he's lying because he ran away too, so he knew what he did was wrong.
Or the Shadow Man did.
And it could be Shadow Man told him.
Well, later
you gotta run. So
it comes out. So his mom went to police, took the stand the other day.
Oh yeah.
Or earlier on, like before the pre-trial and all that kind of stuff, and stated that her son actually is on the spectrum. He's autistic.
Yeah.
So he's got a form of autism.
Mm-hmm.
So they think that it could be something mental.
Yeah, but autism isn't tied to insanity. It's just a learning disability.
Right, but it does link to mental health, doesn't it?
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, I could see that, and it would it would eventually lead to his deterioration of the mind. Maybe if he couldn't figure out how to socialize correctly with other people. I could see that.
Well, he definitely doesn't know how to socialize with a 6-year-old girl.
No, I would say he definitely missed that one by a long shot.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. You're supposed to hug, not strangle.
Mm.
Noted.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll keep you posted on that one. But anyways, that's just a fun one that's going on. Well, fun, potential demon and all. Not 6-year-old murder.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just Shadow Man's a new one.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, it gets better from here on out.
All right. That's our lull, everyone.
Those are.
Unless Andrew's a liar, which he could be. Yeah, I have been known to lie a time or two. All right. So, Utah County gripped by bizarre accusations of murder and cannibalization of kids. Ooh. I thought you said, okay. Kind of better? I don't really know. It's kind of plateauing for me.
Well, the way that I think about it is it's better because it's not personal. So, for example, how do I put this? So they found psychologists have found that when you put a disaster in somebody's face, like let's take 9/11 for example.
Yeah. And
you show them, show them the numbers, 2,000 people dead, this is what happened, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It has it hits emotionally for some people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a, varying effect of how hard it hits. But they found that if you show an individual story of somebody who is, let's say you do the same thing, 9/11, and you put it into a single person perspective. So now you're rooting for this guy to make it down the stairs. And he keeps trying to make it down the stairs. And, one of his buddies who's 10 floors down below him is way overweight. And so everybody else is just running by him, but he decides to stay with his fat friend. And so he stays with him, but it's slowing down his pace. And so because he chose to stay with his fat friend, he didn't end up making it out of the towers before it collapsed.
Yeah.
Now, that has a lot more emotional tie. They found that has a lot more emotional tie because it's an individual basis where you are now connecting with an individual versus with a group.
Yeah, or just with numbers.
So now you have an emotion tied with this.
Okay.
Right? And so that's why I think this story is not as bad.
Okay. All right.
Because they don't actually list any kids' names.
Yeah.
Whereas with the story before, there was a 6-year-old girl. And this one, it's just kind of conspiracies.
Yeah, it's less personalized.
Right.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yeah. Yes, I agree with
Perfect.
what you're saying.
Nice.
All right, good.
It was very eloquently said, I think.
Yeah, teacher.
I just, want my due respect, that's all. Quiet in the classroom. So a wild QAnon conspiracy theory that has followers convinced progressives rape and eat kids has bubbled into a small county in Utah. Utah County Attorney David Levitt, who is running for re-election, is calling for the immediate removal of the county sheriff, Mike Smith. I wonder if he's Mormon with that name.
So has any of this been proven? Or is it all just rumor?
So the sheriff is trying to prove it. And the sheriff believes that the county attorney, is in on it, which is why there's never been any headway on the case. Oh. And so he released a document of 151 pages of supposed evidence and theorizing that he had written down, right? 150 pages of it.
Yeah.
And he hands it in, and they immediately reject it.
Yeah. 100, yeah, to have that many pages and not at least give it a week, maybe a month.
So, let's see here. Immediate removal of Sheriff Mike Smith, who we're pretty sure is a Mormon, over, just based on the name, over a bizarre report implicating Levitt in a ritualistic sex ring known for cannibalizing young children. And the other thing that I found interesting is, so they haven't released the 150-page report yet, right?
Yeah, right. If it was fake, why would it matter?
So they haven't released it, but according to the sheriff, he goes, listen, the cannibalizing of young children was like a sentence on one of the pages of the 150 pages. He goes, the majority of it is sex abuse.
Oh.
He goes, and so if it is true, right?
Yeah.
He's stating that he's going, listen, we all know that there are some sickos out there that like to mess with kids, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that they're eating them. I said that there was one instance where they may have eaten them in the 150-page document that I gave you.
Yeah.
And you're making it sound like, oh, all they're doing is they're tenderizing the meat and then they're eating the meat. And you're like, no. He's going, no, that's not what they're doing. It's sex first. He goes, it's sex and then usually just murder.
Yeah, they highlighted what really wasn't essentially
what sounded a little bit like crazy talk, right?
Yeah. So they were highlighting something very minuscule in the document to make it sound like he was just a crazy person.
Right. So they're a little bit, what's it called? Gaslighting.
Yeah.
They're gaslighting him a little bit, which makes me, I didn't believe any of it until I read the end where it says that he goes, where he stated, he goes, listen, the cannibalizing the young thing was only like this big.
Yeah.
He goes, really, it's the sex cult thing.
If it is a weird sex cult that does
it would be
weird,
in Utah.
Bad things to kids, I could easily see that at least like one of these times, just one individual or member of this cult crossing that line to eat a heart or something.
Right. One of them just, you get too into the moment,
Hum hum shabai.
Hum hum shabai it, yeah. So the 151-page report, which was released by the sheriff Wednesday among law enforcement but has not been made public, is said to name Levitt and his wife as integral figures in the trumped-up conspiracy. The report claims the abuse took place between 1990 and 2010 and was carried out in 3 Utah counties. So this guy's done his due diligence, maybe. I mean, he once again, good chance that he's just a crackpot in this whole thing. But,
right. But how bad will we look if we don't at least give it some credence of an investigation?
Some merit.
Yeah, right.
A sheriff who, if he had any, this sheriff, if he had any malfeasance, that one.
No, never heard of that before.
Basically, if he had a bad record,
Yeah.
right, they would be talking about it in this article to discredit him.
Yeah, they would have pulled out all the punches.
Right, but they didn't. All they had was what he said in the article. So that's another thing. So this guy's clearly reliable.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would have mentioned that how unreliable he was.
Like, this is another one of his harebrained schemes.
Yeah, because back in 2007, he thought a little girl was missing when it really, and had pressed charges against the father. But really, she was just spending the night over at her grandparents.
Or maybe he believes in lizard men.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, although I would say, it will look bad, even if this is like, if he puts together just reports like this all the time of just conspiracies, it would look bad if they didn't investigate and it turns out this one report is the right one. Yeah.
Right, and it's the sheriff. It's not like we're talking about, it's the sheriff.
Yeah.
We're not talking about just some random hillbilly in the woods.
Yeah, that's just noticed a few things going wrong.
Yeah, it's the sheriff. You got to kind of take it with, you got to kind of take it seriously. That being said, though, I would say it's probably 90%, 10% I would give it real, 90% fake.
I don't know, because if there's one person to keep track of or have the ability to keep track of children missing,
it would be this guy.
Yeah. He would be alerted to right when it started getting fishy, and he's like, oh my gosh, all these parents are starting to say that their kids are being kidnapped, or maybe in a household that's a part of the cult, they just dedicate one of their kids to the cult. I could see something evil like that happening.
Right.
This really feeds into my imagination of horror stories.
Oh, it always does.
I know.
So in announcing the investigation into ritualistic child sexual abuse and child sex trafficking, on Tuesday, the sheriff called on any potential victims who may have survived to come forward. But he said he did not directly name Levitt. He said he has no plans to resign and refused to apologize for using his budget to fund the questionable investigation into a political foe. Instead, he blamed the county attorney for abuse of power. I believe that Levitt is using his authority and his pulpit to bully, distract, and mischaracterize the facts of an ongoing investigation, Smith told reporters on Wednesday. When asked about Levitt's alleged involvement, he said, "We don't talk about who is under investigation."
Ooh, you gotta think it's probably like some of the more well-established families in these counties, like old blood money.
So what I would do if I was Levitt, and I was abusing children, you got to give them a sacrificial lamb. You set somebody up, somebody low in your totem pole.
Right. If this was House of Cards,
if in your group. And you set them up for fodder. Make sure that they don't talk because, you'll hold on to their family or something like that.
Yeah, you need your fall man.
But you need a fall guy.
Yeah.
So if we see a fall guy, then I'm totally believing that this is a real thing.
Yeah, if something comes to light and it's all just neatly tied into a little bow.
He goes, "I'm sorry I didn't believe you, Sheriff Smith. I never could have imagined that my assistant,
my best friend,
could you believe it? My wife even, but I would never."
Yeah, that would be crazy. It's something out of Amityville Horror Story. Like it seems too crazy to be true, but such things have existed before.
Right, and then here it goes. This is what makes it sound a little fishy. So Smith told reporters no one was personally named in the report, but Levitt said, in fact, he and his wife were named on purpose just a week before ballots are sent out. So Levitt is now bringing up the fact that his name was mentioned in a document that wasn't released to the public. So how the hell would we have known that his name was mentioned at all?
Yeah, does it eventually become public records? But that would have been too late after the vote.
Right. So what was it? So it comes out on Wednesday or Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And it's not public for everybody who would be voting to see. It's marked as private for just law enforcement.
Right.
and for, I'm assuming, other people in that field, because how else did Levitt see it, right?
Yeah. Maybe he was doing, like, I could see Levitt doing damage control, like, just because he had the idea that this could be bad for his name.
Right.
Like, maybe he is innocent and he did too much damage control on something he didn't need to.
You're right. I just don't like the fact that this was... We would have had no idea your name was on that thing.
Right.
You're the one that mentioned it, not us.
The one thing that could have happened was if the officers started leaking this information.
Right. But no. You leaked it.
Yeah, he did, huh?
He didn't leak it. You leaked it.
And you're also trying to make the guy look crazy.
Because you're saying that he leaked this information, and you're going, no, he didn't. He kept it private.
Yeah.
So I am calling upon Sheriff Mike Smith to open his office to an outside investigation. All right, here, this is the...
yeah, you sending FBI in? Because I'd be okay with that.
To open his office to outside investigation where outside independent investigators are able to investigate and confirm or deny that documents from a debunked investigation from more than a decade ago were or were not used for political purposes in a Utah County attorney's race, Levitt said in a statement. So he's totally discrediting.
He's not even giving a little bit of thought to the chance that this could be true.
Right.
Yeah.
He's totally looking at this, that this was just a political snuff piece, which it could have been.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that doesn't make sense if it's a political snuff piece is why wasn't it made public?
Yeah, the timing of it because it was made to be private for law enforcement. So wouldn't he release this earlier on if it is all just fabricated anyways?
Right.
He would have released this earlier, at least to cops, and then they would have probably slowly leaked it out because that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, you would have done this a month before elections, not a week.
Yeah, and hope for some loose-lipped people that want to sell out to the newspapers.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know how the whole, maybe a month is too early or something like that. I don't know. But it wouldn't be private.
Yeah, it's too close to the vote.
Yeah. So the allegation that I am asserting is that the sheriff's office is using its positions for political gain and accusing them of abusing and cannibalizing and murdering children. And no, I will not step aside.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think the cop would be doing this to ruin his campaign. Because politicians are always campaigning.
Right.
Was there a time they're not?
Correct. But at the same time, that's a more... if you told me what's more likely, a person who's abusing his power for political gain or somebody who's abusing his power for to sexualize because he's in a sex cult with children and he's eating them
and he needs to cover it up.
I would say it's more likely the political purpose.
Yep.
One.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It's just weird that he's phrasing it this way.
Well, that would be a failed investigation because they're not investigating the actual clues. From how he's describing it, he's trying to force it to fit a already set scenario in his head.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So the two officials have never met eye to eye since Smith endorsed a more like-minded conservative in the county attorney race. He maintains the timing of the report has nothing to do with revenge. This is not political, he said. This is something we take very, very seriously. This is some of the most egregious crimes that happen in our community when our children are victimized at this level. Smith also played down the mention of cannibalism in the investigation, which Levitt insists is part of the report. The sheriff says the main focus is sex abuse, not the consumption of children.
Yeah, I would also believe that more likely than cannibalism.
Right. So do you believe a sheriff more, or do you believe a politician?
Sheriff, but sheriffs also get voted in.
Yeah.
So it's kind of got its own political...
It's got a little bit of a political twist to it, doesn't it?
Right. But that's a lot of resources to waste on something like this.
not totally unheard of.
Right.
I would say it's probably, but if you said something like, "Listen, this politician covered up. He's basically our DA, right? And he covered up a sex abuse scandal that would have blown the top because maybe it's the most wealthy person in town." I could see him doing something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily being a part of it himself, but covering for somebody.
Covering to further his career.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that. I would. It also depends on how many children they have for this evidence too.
Yeah, is this like what's that town in It where all the kids just keep disappearing?
Oh yeah, but the parents just had no recollection of them ever existing.
Right.
That would be crazy, and that it's just really it is the organization, the cult.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, we'll find out. Well, probably never, to be honest. But
yeah, who knows if this is ever going to get any traction.
If it ever does become public, I would like to read that 151 page.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. I was like, if it's more kids than like 3, I would think it'd be more than 151 pages.
Oh, really? How many kids do you think take up a page?
Well, you got to think each kid was probably their own ceremony
and own file.
And so you got
ceremony.
Right. Well, you got for the cultist.
Right.
They probably had their own little ritual they had set up.
Makes sense.
And so if you're investigating it, you probably had the reports when the kid went missing, where you thought they ended up, and what they were wearing. So
where you thought they ended up. I think they ended up paired with a nice 72 Bordeaux.
Yeah, but I just think for the amount of information that cops try to get nowadays, they try to include everything in just in case it becomes a cold case. And that way, cops in the future, if they find anything new,
can solve it.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah, I guess I don't know how big a report is for one murder, let alone for a plethora.
Especially a conspiracy.
Right. Yeah. It's just a bunch of, like, crayon. You're like, okay, I can see why there's no validity.
He widened the margins.
Yeah, it's quad-spaced. You're like, oh, come on, Smith. Smith, you bastard. All right, well, let's keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got another whodunit mystery.
Ooh.
That's right, twofer. So a Russian model, 37, fell 80 feet to her death from apartment during sex party.
So like a 7th floor, maybe?
8th floor, yeah.
Yeah.
This is why you need to be buckled into the sex swing. All right? Otherwise...
Yeah. At least get a better pusher.
Yeah. Yeah, or at least have the pusher face the window. He's on the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't go towards the open doors. God.
New position, meaning of catcher.
Yeah. You said you were a catcher. You go, not like that. So, webcam performer. I apologize. I'm going to butcher your name. Webcam performer Evgenia Smirnova, 37, suffered fatal head injuries and a broken leg after a fall from an 8th floor balcony at one of Patong's resort's residential complexes. The Russian woman is known to have operated multiple social media accounts under different names and regularly live streamed on an adult website until shortly before her death. So she was all of our girlfriends. That's what they need to remind us.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, that's all of our girlfriends, guys. That's what they took from us.
Oh.
So the police, Thai police, not the police. Thai police believe a Russian model who plunged, here's where it gets interesting, who plunged 80 feet to her death from an apartment in Phuket, I think, may have been pushed after they discovered a clump of hair in her hand.
Oh, like she Oh, I see. Okay, sorry, I had to put that together. I thought the person had pushed her after she had pulled their hair out, but now I realize that means she grabbed it as she was falling.
Yeah.
That's true, because then that also means she saw her killer.
Yeah. So then all she has to do is do that Wild West thing where they put the head on a lantern and see her last image that's been burned into her brain.
Or she can hope that she goes to the morgue of the girl that's turned into a zombie, and she just has to eat the brains of the dead person to re-see their past. That's another crime series.
Yeah, mine was more believable.
Was it?
Yeah, than eating the brains.
It's just a zombie. It's just...
Zombie.
Yeah.
So local authorities are now carrying out a forensic analysis of the hair sample that was clasped in Smirnova's hand to identify whom she may have grabbed onto as she fell.
I would say anyone that's missing a chunk.
Well, the other thing, too, is she could have also fallen and just somebody else was out on the balcony and she grabbed the first thing that she could and happened to be hair.
Yeah,
and it's still she fell back, right?
Yeah. Right, like there is the accident scenario too.
Yeah. Or she thought she was going to Rapunzel with somebody else's hair.
Could be.
And
what
it
if
turned
there's
out to
drugs
be,
involved?
When it turned out to be a weave.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You never told me! So, in the wake of the incident in the infamous Patong nightlife zone, another Russian woman, Natalia Kosinnikova, 35, was detained along with two men, apparently on suspicion of drug use, according to the Bangkok Post. These guys were totally racially profiled. Just so you guys, just so we're all clear here. They go, "Who's this lady?" It's a Russian lady. They go, "Hey, there's a Russian lady over there. Let's go talk to her."
That makes sense.
That's what I would do.
Yeah.
And you're not white, so it can't be racist. So the detainees were named as American Jamal Antoine Smith, 38, and a Jordanian Ahmad Radi Mustafa Alatoum, 28 years old. The Jordanian was held after seeking to board a flight out of Thailand following Smirnova's death.
Trying to get out of there.
Yeah, maybe. So reports citing police said that there was evidence of a sex, drugs, and alcohol party at the Emerald Terrace condominium complex in Patong, from which Smirnova fell. Kosinnikova, a model and DJ who also worked as a dental assistant.
That's a strange one.
Yeah. Claimed today, hey, you got to get your nut. You do what you got to do. Claimed today she has been released and said Smirnova's death was an unfortunate incident, but did not give further details. The case is not, here she goes. This is her. You ready? This is Smirnova. The case is not complicated because we are not guilty, she said, adding her lawyer had instructed her not to talk in detail about the case. The only thing I can say is that this was an unfortunate incident, but it was not murder, and none of the people involved are to blame. She said we were held in a cage, but they let us go.
Oh, prison?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's like weird sex party.
Yeah. Not really. That's about par for
How did she fall off the balcony then?
Yeah. Wrong person was in the cage. So Kosinnikova said she had only met fellow Russian Smirnova on the night of the incident, and she denied reports in the Thai media that the party involved sex and drugs, but it did involve alcohol, amid claims that condom wrappers and cannabis had been found by police.
Yeah, I think sex and drugs were a part of it.
Yeah. I didn't know Eugenia until that evening. I didn't know the girl. She just came to the party where we were. And she called her friend, Ahmed Radi Mustafa Alatoum, who came too and behaved inappropriately. So Ahmed is apparently her friend, and they both behaved completely inappropriate.
How much more inappropriate can you be at a sex and drug party?
And alcohol.
I feel like everything's already pretty inappropriate. So how far could they have been pushing it?
She could have brought food.
You know it's models. They're dieting.
Yeah. What are you doing? Does it say food, sex, drugs, and alcohol party? Or is it a sex, drugs, and alcohol party? Huh, Bernice?
Mm-hmm.
Idiot. I'm tired of inviting her. Let's see here. So this is where I start to disbelieve her, though.
Okay. I mean, besides the fact of what kind of party it was.
Yeah. So I can say that me and my friend, Jamal Antoine Smith, who I have known for a long time, behaved with dignity and decency.
Okay. What did you guys bring? Hot towels for everyone?
Yeah, she just didn't put her in her pooper. That's all it was. So the police trust us. The police say they are not worried about us. She added, I'm just a tourist here. I'm an ordinary tourist. It was a regular booze fest. Someone dies here every day. This is when I go, you might have done it.
Yeah. It seems she's pretty desensitized to the fact that someone died.
Right. I mean, I understand that her country is starting World War III right now.
Right.
But so, she has been desensitized to that anyways. But I don't know. An American broad would really be
bawling her eyes out.
She'd be going, this was so traumatic for me. I don't think I could ever come back to this country.
Yeah.
Like, that's what she'd go, I had a horrible experience. Thailand sucks. Why? Well, I was having a sex and drugs party, and this chick just totally fell off the balcony. And I made eye contact with her, and I think her spirit's still with me.
Yeah, I could see that being an American girl.
Right, but these Russian broads just totally...
Police trust me.
Yeah, police trust me. I am tourist. I am cute. I am dental assistant, DJ, and model.
What a weird combo.
You go, which one of those is first? She goes, DJ. You go, wow, I wasn't expecting. Then dental assistant. Finally, model. You go, all right.
Yeah. I could easily see this being an accident, although with the hair in the hand.
It's the hair in the hand.
It's the hair in the hand.
It's not like she grabbed it at somebody who was on another balcony.
Right.
As she was flying down.
Yeah, and I guess it just depends on who was the girl the hair came from. Or the guy, I guess.
Yeah, it could be a guy. Right? That being said, it's definitely not Jamal Antoine Smith, because I think they can figure out a cornrow.
They didn't say if it was going to be... They didn't say what kind of hair yet.
I know, but I'm just saying, you can tell if it's a black guy's hair.
Well, there could have been other black guys there.
I agree with you, but you can also know if the guy's got one missing cornrow.
Yeah, I guess, if one's looking a little unraveled.
Sir, you're bleeding from your forehead. You go, I have no idea how that got there.
Yeah, I guess there's some logical deductions they can make.
Right. And so I think that they can look at these people and go, oh, your hair's blonde. Oh, your hair's...
You have the highlights that match what she has in her hand.
Yeah. Interesting. You're also partially scalped. Oh, you're a monk. I believe it.
Yeah, I would just get everyone's DNA test from the party. Get everyone's story.
Hey, you've got half the DNA there.
You got to get it from the actual person. You won't know who it belongs to.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can't just go start sifting through condoms.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay. Well, we'll keep you updated on that one.
Yeah.
See if anybody comes out. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, what do you think? Murder or accident at this point?
I could see accidental murder.
I could see that too. Just like a fit of rage under intoxication and drugs.
And you just push her.
Yeah.
You're just get away from me, you psycho.
Yeah, I could see that easily. So, I'd agree with that. I'm going to go with murder just because of the hair.
Yeah, the hair is just...
The hair speaks to anything I've seen on NCIS.
Yeah. And that show's always accurate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or Monk. Monk is a good one.
Always accurate as well.
Gotta look for the details.
Yeah.
I see everything.
All right. Well, let us know what you guys think in the comment section if this is murder or an accident or an accidental murder. All right. Now, moving on to the last story of the day.
Story.
Man, that computer software is really annoying.
T-Bone. Work on it.
Yeah, they're right. T-Bone. All right. So, for the last story of the day, man allegedly destroys $5 million in art at Dallas Museum because he got mad at his girl.
No. That's almost as bad as the environmentalist who tried to kill or destroy the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, this guy's worse.
No, destroying the Mona Lisa is worse.
Yeah, but this guy's just doing it in a fit of rage.
Oh, well, this guy actually did it.
Yeah, and just because of his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Unless it's her art.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a good one.
That would make more sense.
Yeah, how old do you think the guy is?
40.
Oh, you think it's a middle-aged guy thing?
I think so. I think he's got a young girl.
So that would be frustrating. A band broke into a Dallas museum Wednesday night and destroyed more than $5 million in ancient, irreplaceable art pieces because he got mad at his girl.
How horrible and how
Official
stupid.
said. Yeah, break up with this guy.
Yeah. I don't know if this museum was just her favorite place to go. And that's why he's like, I'm gonna burn it. Burn it to hell.
Yeah, or what if she just has like a trauma because she told him, like, she's like, you know, my boyfriend before you, he used to destroy all my stuff. And he's like, oh, that's my move. He goes, I'm going to have to find somebody else's stuff to go break. I'm not breaking my stuff.
But it doesn't have the emotional weight I need.
Yeah.
I guess I'll have to go to a public place.
Yeah. So Brian Hernandez, 21, reportedly decided to take his anger out by breaking and entering into the Dallas Museum of Art and smashing multiple vessels, bowls, and figurines valued at a whopping $5.153 million.
Just go to an average China shop.
Just go into the garage.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's just such an expensive tantrum.
This is such a 21-year-old thing to do.
I know. I was so wrong with that 40-year-old nonsense.
Yeah.
Should have thought it through more.
Should have. Yeah,
just like that 21-year-old.
Yeah, right. Oh, man. Reminds me of the time that you and I were playing Battleship and you won 5 times in a row. And I was drinking a glass of water and I just was seething with rage. And I picked up my glass. I walked outside and I threw my glass against the outside wall of the apartment complex.
Yeah, it's concrete.
It's concrete, and the freaking glass didn't break.
Yeah, it bounced. I heard it. It took 3 bounces.
It just went bink, and I went. And so now I'm outside.
Weirdly calmed you down, though.
It was just too humorous not to, like, the whole thing made me, like, the one thing I wanted to do was beat you in Battleship. And then I couldn't beat you in Battleship. So then at that point I go, the one thing I want to do is break Battleship. But I can't do that, so I'm going to break this cup instead. So I took the cup. I go, I'm going to break this cup against this wall out here. And I threw it, and it failed miserably. And I hucked the crap out of it.
Yeah.
All right? I'm no slouch. All right? I know what you're thinking. Oh, he granny tossed it. Oh, no. I hucked that thing like a professional discus thrower. I started facing one direction, spun twice, threw it against a wall, and it just went bink dink.
We should have checked the manufacturer of that glass cup.
It's still upstairs. Yeah.
No.
I was getting shot at, and I covered it. I covered my heart with it, and deflected 18 bullets.
Wow, great shot by the marksman.
All of them armor piercing. It's crazy. This is Walmart.
Oh, wow. Yeah, good old Wally World.
No, yeah. So just the whole thing just made me laugh so hard because I was just so irritated by the fact that I couldn't even break a glass that I just went inside and I just hung my head down low.
Yeah, that's when the game was over.
Yeah.
Everything was done. We were ready for dessert.
The better.
Yeah. So, okay, do they ever say what it was that tied this? Was the girlfriend tied to the art museum at all?
No.
Does he say what she did to make him so angry?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Okay.
So Hernandez allegedly used a metal chair to smash the glass entrance. Oh, somebody can smash glass. Entrance to the museum at about 9:40 p.m. Once inside, he used a stool to destroy the rare and irreplaceable art pieces. He allegedly told museum guards who found him with the destroyed items that he got mad at his girl, so he broke in and started destroying property, according to the arrest document. Oh, my God. The guards had Hernandez sit on a bench while they called police. When officers arrived, they arrested him for criminal mischief greater than $300,000. It would have been cheaper just to hit her. Not saying that's what you should have done.
No, but I understand what you're saying.
I'm just saying your girl's never going to be in a museum.
I don't know if he fathomed at all what the depth of this would have been.
No, I don't think he did.
Man, they have to be broken up now.
The bowl? Yeah, just like the bowl.
Yeah. Shattered.
Just
beyond repair.
Weirdly enough, I bet you this type of broad is into it. I bet you somebody who dates somebody that would break into a museum and destroy stuff like this is the type of girl that is... Plus, he's 21.
Yeah.
So a 20-year-old girl would find something like that, like a gesture like that, semi-romantic.
Maybe, and that's only if she's into that. If she's not, run like the wind, girl. He's crazy.
Yeah. I still say, even if you are into it, maybe see a doctor and then run like the wind.
Or just don't ever take him around any museums ever again.
Maybe show him where the nearest flea market is next time you piss him off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like, so that way he can cause all the damage he wants, and it's $22.
Yeah, right? Like, just go to a thrift store, buy a bunch of bottles.
There should
glass china.
Actually, that would be a great idea to just have a place where you can grab a baseball. You can grab like a certain weapon. It's one person allowed inside at a time.
Yeah.
And you just have crap that you're allowed to break.
I like that actually.
Yeah, and so you can just go in. You give somebody goggles and gloves and like a baseball bat, and they just go in and they just start beating the crap out of everything. And we could call it.
Not a bad idea.
No, it's not. And you call it like Destruction Zone.
We'll give it some thought. None of you guys
Trademark,
can take this.
Trademark.
Whew, that was close.
Thank God we did that. Don't pause us before that. I stopped listening to you right then. So, let's see here. He also smashed a Greek ceramic bowl from 550 BCE. Oh my God. Worth about $100,000. And a Cado. I don't know what Cado is. Let's look that up. Look up Cado.
How's it spelled?
Caddo. Confederacy of several southeastern Native American tribes. Okay, so it's a combination of of Native American tribes. And it was an alligator figurine valued at $10,000. To get his hands on the pieces, Hernandez allegedly shattered 2 display cases worth $17,000 each. That seems a little bit much for display cases.
No, I would agree that they're probably pretty expensive.
A display case? Just the case itself? A display case.
Well, the case is probably regulated to make sure the artifacts are kept in pristine shape. So it probably keeps at a certain temperature, make sure certain lighting comes through. It's probably for not only just physical threats, but also just deterioration threats.
All right, I'll buy it.
Yeah, right?
A museum computer, phone, bench, and signage were also damaged. The Dallas Museum of Art said it is still in the process of assessing the total extent of the damages. While we are devastated by this incident, we are grateful that no one was harmed, museum administrators said in a statement. The safety of our staff and visitors, along with the care and protection of the art in our stewardship, are our utmost priorities. And the other thing, too, is those pieces of artwork, sometimes they don't really belong to the museum.
No.
A lot of the time they're loaned out from private
collections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
gosh, because I just don't know how this. I don't understand what this guy really got from this at all. Because it wasn't tied to the person he was angry at. It wasn't tied to himself. I mean, I think majority of people have been there where they just want to smash something.
Been there.
And it's kind of a bittersweet feeling because it feels good that you broke it, but at the same time, they're like, I have to replace that now. If it is something that you actually did use.
Yeah, I one time grabbed a metal bat and just started swinging at this old metal bed frame that I had.
Yeah.
And the first, just as strong as I could, with as much power as I could, as much muy duro as I possibly could maintain, and I hit it. And it shot a shockwave up my hands, and it numbed my hands, and I went, ooh.
Well, I don't think it's that sensation that I'm talking about.
I understand, guys. Trust me.
But there is that bittersweet feeling, and be like, I've done good in making myself feel better, but I also feel bad because I've destroyed something that's mine. And in this instance, it's not even his, but I don't know, because he's 21, he just didn't even think that he would be held responsible for it.
I honestly don't think he gave a rat's.
Yeah, I think it was just such an emotional bend that he just desensitized himself so that he could just Hulk smash.
I don't think he desensitized himself. I think he was so sensitive to his anger that everything else just washed over him.
Okay.
What do I care about anything else right now?
Yeah.
Because I've been that angry before, right? I've never been so angry that I've driven someplace, broken into a place, and then destroyed other people's stuff.
Yeah, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I stay in my own home.
Yeah, I don't want to add more. What if I get a flat tire on the way there?
That would be really irritating.
What if I have to pay for gas? If I'm angry and I got to pay for gas right now, I don't know. I might just start grabbing a lighter and just going to town on a gas station.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Could see it.
Yeah. This is not usable in court of law. This is inadmissible.
Yeah. Maybe we'll hide away your journals for a little bit.
Just want to let everybody know on the off chance that this gets used against me, I was crossing my fingers. So.
At least your legs.
Nana boo boo.
Mm-hmm.
Stick your head in doo doo. Yeah, I'm curious as to what the girl did.
Break up with him. Oh, to make him so angry?
Yeah.
Me too. Whatever it is, it's definitely not going to be enough to make him do this, unless you just, had a slew of guys she was hiding from him. I could see that being irritating enough to smash a museum.
What if she's Native American?
Whoa, diabolical.
And he went in there to destroy some of her heritage because she's all like
super proud.
Yeah, he's like, listen, I'm really tired of seeing your Native American. I love your Native American heritage, but you got to quit leaving it on the kitchen counters and on the kitchen table. It's driving me insane. And she's like, oh yeah, well, where am I? I don't
know. Now he's got an enormous debt baggage.
And then she starts singing, and then nature's now against him. And so, what are you gonna do but take it out against your people's artifacts?
Could be.
I think that makes the most sense.
Well, I'll have to stay tuned.
Yeah, Mother Tree was being a real annoying. This isn't about you.
Mother Willow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been super annoying to argue against Pocahontas, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Because then the animals would have been on her side. And it's like, how do you argue against somebody who has animals on their side?
Yeah, and a giant tree that can whip you with their branches.
Right.
Yeah, terrifying.
Oh, yeah. I don't care how pretty you are.
all the princes could really get animals on their side. All the princesses. Sleeping Beauty did. Snow White did. Ariel did. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember them all. We have Princess and the Frog. I don't remember her name, but she did it.
She was a frog.
Yeah.
So
she became them.
Yeah, she became an animal.
There's some more. Oh, there's Rapunzel. Oh, that's Sleeping Beauty still.
Is it?
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty's Rapunzel.
Sleeping Beauty is Rapunzel?
The long hair?
I thought Rapunzel was Rapunzel.
No, yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyways, we're not just going to list off
my Disney knowledge.
Diana.
Yeah. She's got the power of the animals.
Yeah.
You remember that's from?
Shrek?
No, it's Enchanted.
Never saw that movie.
It's a good one. It's pretty funny. Just makes fun of all the fairy tale lore.
Ah,
Yeah.
sounds like something I would never watch.
You should.
Okay, guys. Well, if I have to watch that, I'm going to go destroy a museum, so you'll know.
Yeah.
I'll be in the news. Alrighty, guys. Well, that's all we've got for you today. Sorry we ended on princesses. I really wasn't expecting Mel to really take control of the conversation.
You're welcome, ladies.
This is why I picked the stories.
You're welcome again, ladies.
There we go. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you for tuning in to another fantastic episode of Sheep. And as always,
Stay classy out there, everyone.
there you go.